The rebound failed this morning, and our stock's about to approach a corrective territory. Let's get into it here. It is Wednesday, November 5th, 2025. If you guys liked the video, don't forget to give it a like, comment, share, subscribe. You come find me on carnivoretrades.com for swing trading alerts, analysis, and live day trading. We talked about trend coming today, and we got that for the most part here, but not so fast, as markets definitely faded a little bit into the close, particularly led by NVIDIA, which closed down almost 2% on the day despite being up about $4 at one point. So what happened today here? Did the Supreme Court ruling do anything? It does look like there was some, I heard a little bit of talk from that, and it does appear there's kind of a case on both sides, but nonetheless, the market, had a nice rebound, and the Korean Kospi got smoked last night. By the way, I'm sure they'll be lining up for worthless dollars because the dollar index is so, the U.S. dollar is so worthless. But I'm sure they'll be lining up for swaps pretty soon. But yeah, this went limit down yesterday, and nice V shape there after limit down, and closed right at 4K. Again, amazing trades, 4 for 4 in the trading room today, and did play a little bit in Globex last night. Big level got hit that we were looking at 67.50, and we did trade that overnight. Got multiples, ES this morning and Q this morning, and picked up a short into the close too. We'll see what happens. I think this rally can get faded here, and I was looking to kind of go short into the close anyway. That does not mean that we're max short, just for full disclosure here. It's just a short-term trade here, and it's already got profit built in. That's already been taken. So if we gap and go tomorrow, that's not no harm, no foul there. But bottom line here is we effectively retested the trend line, and it backed off. So I'll give bears here their due. And let me tell you, dude, last night, like the Kermit meme where like they're just jumping off, he's just jumping off the building. That's what it was like at like 8 o'clock last night. And by 11 o'clock this morning, everybody on my X feed anyway, who was dead silent and didn't see the move coming yesterday, was all talking about how the lows are in. And just a few hours later, we did fade pretty good into that. So sentiment changes very fast. And right now, there's quite a bit of air, particularly on the NASDAQ. Some of it got filled out just now. But there's still a lot down here on the hourly here. Even really this zone, kind of like on ES, isn't exactly the cleanest, particularly like on the LTF, like low time frame. So nonetheless, market held up for the most part by the end of the day, which I figured it would. But 6,800. And again, if there's no news, Gamma's just going to reign supreme most of the time, and that's kind of what happened right there. Close below the call wall, close below SPY 680, close below SPY 678. Gamma boys win again. QQQ 625, couldn't get that either. So very nice price action here overall, and again, love the volatility right now. It is making us spades here. But nonetheless, tomorrow, if we do go down 67.50, never got tagged. So we never truly retested that, and that would be a level for sure. If that level breaks and we trend lower, I don't like anything till about 6,700, and that level better hold. Otherwise, we're going to have bigger problems on our hand here. So we know that this is not a, it doesn't, the Supreme Court and all that stuff and the government shutdown and Michael Burry, like that's not why any of this is happening. It's a liquidity issue, and that's what markets are. They're liquidity. Now, silver did come back in pretty nicely, so they did get some of that under control here. That said, spreads widened up a little bit, although we won't have the new one until tomorrow. But HYG, finished up 8 cents. So, it got a bounce here. I think that's the other one. LQD was down, though. That's it. So I think that's corporate bonds. So a little bit of stress there. Banks, for the most part, held up pretty well, though. So we'll give them that. Even Blackstone managed to finally snap the streak. 3, 6, 9, 10th day. Finally got a green candle on the register there. Yeah, 618. So maybe they can get a bid there. Anyway, that's the case. But the other problem right now is that we had BOJ, one member coming out and saying that they were, kind of considering hikes. That did knock the dollar yen down overnight, but it came right back. And you might say, well, isn't that good for tech? Yeah, until it gets like past a certain level, usually about 155. That's why I got it marked in yellow there. And you can see that's about where that's their kind of like tolerance point. And if it gets past there and they hike, sayonara to tech, right, for, a time being. And I think that's part of what's kind of going on with this risk off sort of selling crypto, selling the NASDAQ and these tech leaders. I mean, these AI names, I mean, look at Palantir, like, oh, the greatest software earnings report ever, which is like the most like dogmatic thing a CEO, they always say this stuff, right? Especially at the highs. But yeah, and the stock goes down. So I think you're seeing some of that here. That said, back above 68.50, I would say definitely get some more bull energy back here. But definitely a little bit of weakness there into the close. So it's just amazing how quickly sentiment changes. And again, there's no longer the everybody is short narrative. It's not even a narrative, it's the fact. So the exposure's changed now. So those are all the levels. QQQ, held 620. And below that, there's 615. And the 20 DMA, which is sitting right there. So those are things to watch for tomorrow. IWM actually held up decently into the close at 1.44. It's definitely a point for the bulls. I don't want to see it lose 240 though. Especially if it were on like a weekly close. I think that would be a very bad look. The Dow was the strongest here. Oh, well, actually, no, the NASDAQ did finish up 65 basis points, but on a structural basis, the Dow was the strongest. Although it did not really, I mean, again, kind of looking at that intraday diamond there, like, yeah, like air. A lot of air on these indexes here. So I get the sense here that this was just kind of bears allowing this to come up for air here. We'll find out. SMH finished up 1.91 again. NVIDIA was weak, but it didn't shake off the rest of the semis. IGV down 25 cents. Palantir and Microsoft pretty weak. Microsoft in a little trouble there. That looks like definitely a bit of a bull trap there last week. Transports hung in there and they actually broke above the trend lines. They did come off the highs though. So we'll have to watch the weekly close on those. IYT up 5 cents. Interest rates, this has been a problem here, and TLT just got destroyed today. We'll see if 89 can hold by the end of the week. There is a little bit of dealer interest there. We'll see if it rolls tomorrow. I would hope for TLT bulls it does. But otherwise, we could be looking at 88.50 to 88. Even, I mean, down there, 88. You got the 200 and the 100. I think that's good support right now. But ever since the Fed cut, rates have just gone up. Imagine that. 2-year also down. 2-year yield, by the way. Speaking of rates, how long does it take the market to figure out that? I mean, if the 2-year gets back above like 370, it's only 17 basis points away from Fed funds. And we're talking about cutting. You can't cut anymore. So this is going to, like, if this stays anywhere near here, we ain't getting no December rate cut. That's for damn sure. I mean, there isn't even room to it right now. But if it keeps going that way, that's definitely not good. And that will destroy that'll make a lot of heads explode. A lot of 60-40 heads explode, which I'm rooting for just because it'll be entertaining. XHB up 70 basis points. IYR down a penny, nothing there. We talked about financials already. Oil got hit a little bit, down 93 cents. Watching a sweep of these lows here. So let me look at like the 30-minute. Yeah. So this can get a squeeze if it can reclaim like, 59.90 or 60, just call it 60. 75 to 60 first. So, but kind of a weak low right there. At least in the immediate short term. XLE did finish green, despite oil down. XOP down 1.1 and OIH up 0.2%. Dollar index was flat. This is into the 200 day. I think if this tries to rally tomorrow, it probably stalls out there. It might stall out here a little bit too, but this weekly chart looks really solid to me. I love the W bottom, and I still think there's still more of a right tail in this. It might have to consolidate a little bit first. What impressed me about gold, on the other hand, was up $32, even with the dollar like just flat, and the dollar kind of rallied. I mean, it rallied a little bit this morning. That didn't seem to deter gold very much. I think we'll see 370 GLD tomorrow. See, silver, same kind of deal. It's a little bit stronger than gold though. Yeah, I don't know how much this goes. I don't know how much farther this goes than 44, maybe 45 by Friday. We'll see if it's strong. Platinum, higher lows here possibly, so that's good. Palladium, up 1.58. We'll see, is that it? Maybe a little hourly inverse head and shoulder, we'll see. But holding up well. Copper broke through $5, but rebounded today. And that's still just been in a range for now. One of the big stories here was crypto as well. I did get filled on a small ETH play at 32.20 yesterday on the drop. So up like 5% on that, which is nice. Obvious resistance one here is like 36 to 37. And then we got Bitcoin here up 2%. Went right here. I was kind of hoping it would pierce this trend line. It might still do that. But so far, so good. Nice rebound there for crypto. And again, like yesterday, last night was hysterical. Like just pure hysteria. Like this was, it was pretty easy to figure a squeeze was coming. But it really quickly turned into hubris, very quickly. And just like that, the market humbles you really fast. So a really strong rally turns into just a bounce. So we'll see. Tomorrow should be important. We'll watch 67.50. Keep an eye on some levels here. I'm sure there's going to be some trumping going on tonight, especially with that court case. What's the other thing too? Something else. I forget about all this stuff here because all kind of know. Oh, the shutdown. I guess Schumer is going to meet. And I think Trump was talking about that too. So I think they're getting close. You see, I mean, we have one down day and Trump like caves on the shutdown. So anyway, we'll see if any of that stuff causes some noise here during Globex, and we'll see. It should be a lot of fun. So anyways, guys, all wrapped up here. You guys take care. Come find me on carnivoretrades.com. We'll see you guys all tomorrow.